Let me explain the concept of smart contracts in real world assets. Right now, I'm going to tell you that tokenizing real world assets without a smart contract is actually very pointless, because without smart contracts, it's just a digital certificate, but with it, it's a programmable asset. I'm going to tell you why I said that. A smart contract is just a code on the blockchain that follows rules automatically. When it comes to real world asset, the smart contract handles the ownership, it handles the payments, it handles the compliance, and it handles the distributions. Let's take, for example, let's say someone wants to purchase a tokenized asset on chain. What the smart contract is going to do is to confirm the payments. Number one is going to transfer the ownership tokens to the owner, and then it's going to release the payment to the seller. And it does this instantly. Everything is done in code. Now let's talk about the security. When a smart contract is deployed, it can't be changed. Nothing can be done about it. If it says payment equals ownership, that's exactly what it is, and it stays that way forever. I mean, forever. No edits can be done. No, nothing can be done about it. So that's exactly how it's going to be done, and everything stays public, and anyone can verify it, and this builds trust, and that's actually very beautiful. Now, speaking of the efficiency, we all know that the traditional assets transactions are very slow and expensive. Emphasis on expensive. You pay the lawyers, you pay the banks, you pay the brokers, you pay for clearing houses. It's a lot. But when it comes to the smart contract helps in removing all these hurdles and replacing them with software. So settlements goes from weeks to minutes. The errors are going to be reduced, the cost drops, and then the payment becomes very automatic. Some of the examples are the rental income, the interest payments, and the dividends. All this can be distributed in code or using code. Now, speaking of the implementations, most of the real world asset platforms, they write the custom contracts, they audit them professionally, and they test them very aggressively. So that is why you have to be very careful, because mistakes are very, very costly, and that is why most platforms, they prefer the modular method. Here is a literal representation. One contracts for the ownership, one contracts for the compliance, one contracts for the payments, and one contracts for the governance. So the risks are very isolated. They're trying to play it safe. Now, coming down to the regulation, real world assets sits between crypto and traditional finance, as we all know. So compliance is a must. It matters a whole lot. So right here, this is what the smart contract includes. Just to be safe, it includes the KYC checks, the AML rules, and the permission controls. So if you are not verified, you cannot trade any assets on chain, because compliance is built into the system. Here are the three things that change almost everything. Number one is the Oracle. Number two is the cross-chain system. Number three is the upgradable governance. So right now, protocols can be able to adapt to new rules and also the new markets. So what's the point I'm trying to make? Smart contracts have turned real world assets into financial infrastructure. They've made them automated. They've made them programmable. They've made them transparent. They've made them efficient and global. On the other hand, they've also made them very highly regulated, technically demanding, and very unforgivable to bad designs. I think this is the most interesting aspect of real world assets I've researched on. What do you think? And what's your most interesting aspect of real world assets you've ever researched on? What are your thoughts? Have a good one.